Here and today we are going to see about the fraud investigation and response protocol in TT action. Okay, and what is meaning of fraud? It is nothing but the systematic and professional things that happens in the company that along with how it happens and what are the things happens inside the fraud detection we are going to see in the design thinking concept. Okay, and using this we are want to collect first three data and information and legal records, bank statements along with all the process has been done in the per month. Afterwards, we can find out which has been done inside and what are the fraud has been done and who has been created the fraud and duplicate statements and using that we move along with the project. Okay. So here the introduction, the forensic accounting is used to account how the investigation technique is going on along with the fraud and financial crime. Second thing, how it happens, where it happens and how much loss has been done in the company. Third thing, that supports the legal proceeding with evidence along with the reports. And fourth thing, the forensic accounting uses the financial detective problems in business and the laws.
Forensic accounting. The forensic accounting has been grew up due to the big growth of forensic frauds in the 20th century. Then the Sarbanes-Oxley Act and standards like SAS 99 pushed the forward fraud protocols to detect the fraud, auditing the fraud and investigating and law in one disciplines. And today it is globally used to fight against the business frauds and government frauds. What are the key features in fraud investigation protocols? The four fraud detection tools are used to identify the investigation of frauds. That is systematic step and evidence, legal focus and communication. Systematic step is to collect, analyze and report the problem fraud occurred. And then evidence based, it is to documentations and number of documents list collecting is based on the evidence. Physical evidence, then is local legal focus, that is to focus the regulatory actions and reports are submitted to the court or financial judging party, and communication is clear explanation about the fraud occurred to the stakeholders. These four steps will help for the fraud investigation.
So my name is B.Sc. So my topic is protocol versions and standards. So there are two types of standards, that is international and audit standard, ICAI forensic standards. So they defines how to investigate by accepting, planning and documented and reported. Then each version improves the clarity and accountability. Then triangle fraud. So there are three types of triangle frauds. One is pressure, opportunity and rationalism. Pressure means financial or performance stress. Then opportunity means work control. Then rationalism, it is fraud justifies behavior. So they are useful in planning and investigating and also in detection. Thank you.
Reporting finding, that is create a clear factual report for legal or management use, highlights what fraud happened, how, who and where it was, include exhibit and documentation, help legal action or policy change. And real application, enrolled scandal, enrolled believes in losses and inflated profiles, forensic accounting reveal false accounting and fraud, executive weight eventually and show the importance of deep and financial investigation.
And my topic is about gathering evidence and inquiries and interviews. And in gathering evidence, we collect invoices and bank records and emails and present it to the authorities for detecting fraudulent activities, and forensic accounts using data mining and sampling for investigation purposes, and also to ensure evidence is authentic and legal, and also for preservation chain of custody is also performed. And for the next, interviews and inquiries in structured interview questions, and also the interview questioner will be asking questions to the fraud person, and also they will be answering questions for that. And in a sampler way, that is conducted in a way that the fraud people cannot be escaped from the situation too soon.
NSC India, the example of protocol in action. Use Belfort bar to dedicate abnormal data patterns, audit software flagged, strange number distribution, investigation fraud, altered revenue figures, result fraud, exposed early, control improved.
Protocol in action, for example, here we are using the Bedford's law here, okay, to find out the fraud investigation. So finally, we want to go along with the data and ledgers along with the audit software, okay. So here we are using the red flag, okay. The red flag will use to find out the strange number distribution. How the duplicate number is updated. After finding that, we are moving to the investigation. How it happens, how the duplicate numbers happens, how the ledger has been found. After that, we are going to the revenue figures, and finally, after investigation, we found out how the fraud is exposed and how we want to control it, how we want to improve our growth of the company. Okay?
Linear search analog. Linear search is completely checks one time at a time. Fraud investigation is like scanning each record for irregularities. It's slow but good. Important in early stage investigation. So it will easy to compare with fraud investigation. Linear search is documents are easy to perform.
How we have changed the fraud investigation. Using the fraud investigation, we are combining together to form the design thinking concept inside how we are going to implement, how we are going to reduce the problem in design thinking, right? Using this, first in this reduction. In this reduction, we are using the red flags, alerts and controls. How we want to find out the investigation and how we are going to use the red flags, how we want to control it, and we should not continue the problem again. Okay? Evidence. We are using the document, interviews and digital data. And analysis. Analysis data, reviews will be there, pattern checks will be there, figures will be there, and findings will be there. And last one, response. Using the response, legal action will be taken upon the fraud investigator. And finally, the policies has been changed. We should not use again the problem. And finally, we want to prevent our company with the fraud detection. Okay? So here the conclusion. So finally, we have concluded the fraud investigation response protocols using the investigation along with the methods, how we want to find and how we want to prove the financial frauds. Second thing, how we are protecting the organization using this and how we are supporting the legal actions. Okay, and this protocol ensures the evidence of clear and reusable documents, and we want to stop everything, right? And finally, the first thing accounting today life is to reduce the fraud detections and fraud response, how we are going to growth of the company. If you reduce the fraud investigation, we can move along with the growth of the company. Okay. And tomorrow's interaction, evidence gathering. Evidence gathering is nothing but collecting the documents along with the client and how the fraud case is performed. And second one, the documents and digital records and witness statements we want to combine together using the team. Using the team, we can find out the reliability and reusability of the document. Okay, thank you all.